Hey guys, today I'm going to talk you through how to clean a coffee machine in a cafe or at home. What you're going to need is some Cafetto coffee cleaner, 2 chucks cloths, a blind basket in a handle, a short flathead screwdriver, and a group head cleaning brush. So the first step that we're going to do is just wrap up our steam wand in a nice wet chucks cloth, because we're going to come back to that and clean that steam wand a little later. The next thing I want to do is start cleaning my group heads so it can be cleaning while doing other things. So firstly, we'll just take out our handle. If you don't have another handle for your blind basket, take your handle out, put your blind basket in, and you'll be ready for that. Step number 2 was taking out this shower screen. Now on a commercial machine, I'll just be unscrewing this and getting this shower screen out so that I can clean by itself. Be mindful. Now, they can get very hot with the water. Now these should be cleaned daily ideally, but as often as you can. Nice hot rinse under that. If you really had to, you can put a little solution of Cafetto in a cup and give that a good wash, because you want that to be nice and clear. That's where the water's flowing through. We want that to run freely. You might have a machine where you need to use your snub nose screwdriver and actually knock out your shower screen with your seal from your machine. That's a great thing to be able to clean the seal as well while you're at it. Then I would grab your chucks and give that a good scrub. And then we can go, once we've cleaned our shower screen, we can go and put that back up in the machine. Now, one thing we do need to note is we never really want to clean a coffee machine without your shower screen in. There is a risk that any coffee grinds could go up into the hole of the machine and cause blockages through solenoids. So we don't want to have that happen. So before we do the full chemical clean, we're going to put the shower screen back up into the machine. So you got your blind basket in your handle. We just still want to do a water backflush. So the handle goes up and you're going to go on and off constantly. On this particular machine, I could manually do that, turning it on and off just like you would with a lever on a home machine, but I do have a cleaning function that I can use on this machine, and then I would move on to the next group head. If you were manually doing it, we want to turn that on and off at least 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off, 5 times, but the more you do it, the better. So once you've done a full cycle of water, we want to get some chemical through the machine. So you can grab your Cafetto. Let's use a full scoop of Cafetto. There's really no reason to use anything less. We want to clean the machine, so we want to get that full scoop of Cafetto to help us do that. Now, I'm going to hit that with a little bit of water and just activate that. And I'll put that up into the group head and hit my cleaning process again. Now, most machines will have individual heads, and you can clean one head and use the other. They're not connected, so you can continue to make coffee, so you can start cleaning a little earlier before you close. So we would run a full cycle of that. If you didn't have that automatically, you would want to be doing this 5 seconds on, 5 times at least, if not more. While that chemical is in the head, this is the moment that it's really breaking down the oils and helping to clean the machine. Now, this is a really important moment. So you can run some water, let it sit there for a minute, and it will break down that bit longer. Once you've done your full cycle, now we're going to grab our cleaning brush. We're going to use these suds to just give this a good scrub outside of that shower screen again, but mostly for your seals. We're going to use this solution here. We can run a bit of water, because now the next step for us is to try to get this chemical out and wash out these group heads. Wash all the solution off your group handle and then start that water cycle again, starting with fresh water, and wash all of that out. So now while you're doing that water backflush, we want to clean our group handles and our baskets. So take your baskets out and give these a good soak under some boiling water and give it a wipe off, but these should stay nice and clean. This is something you should be doing throughout the day anyway, taking out your group handles, making them nice and clean. But we want to give these a good wipe out at the end of the day. If you really need to, you can make a little chemical solution in a cup and give them a scrub or a little scourer, as long as you've got the good stainless ones. But the thing we don't want to do is soak these in buckets of coffee cleaner anymore. So you've got to stop doing it, because what's actually happening is you're deteriorating the glue inside your handles, and that's often why they'll come undone. The chemical can also split the rubber, so soaking them for a long amount of time in chemical is not necessary. And there's also an O-ring inside these new Lumberjack handles that does deteriorate, so the spouts can fall off. If you really think they need a good soak, I would just give them more of a good scrub and a good wash out rather than soaking them. So we'll give them a good wipe, we'll clean them up, and we'll set them aside, ready to go. Now, once that water's done and we've given it a good wipe off, I'm going to add one more step that you might not have seen, and that is the seasoning step. Now, this step is usually reserved for the morning after you've done your chemical clean. Most people would say the machine is now clean, we're completely done. I don't think we are. I want to make sure that we get any of the residual chemical still in the machine out of the machine right now. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to use my blind basket. I'm not going to use 22 grams of coffee in my handle and allow all the coffee to fall out and into the drip tray. I'm going to put a small amount of coffee into my blind basket so that when I put it up and I run that shot again, that coffee water is going to go back through where the chemical has just been to ensure that I knock out any of the residual chemical still in the machine. So by doing that, just a very small amount, a few grams, and this is the thing that's really going to ensure that your machine has been properly seasoned. I would just run that through another cycle, at least a few times on and off. This is knocking out any of that residual chemical, and now we've done a far better job, more thorough, and I could serve the next coffee after this clean. So the coffee's gone through, and then the final step on this is to just go back through with some fresh water. I would recommend cleaning your machine every single day, hands down. If you're at home, at least every kilo that you put through your home machine, and therefore if you're in a cafe doing more than a kilo a day, you need to chemical clean every single day. So this is the final water step. It's a lot of pressure. Now that head is clean, and we can move on to the next one. I'm going to come back to this steam wand. This has been soaking with my cloth around it, which will break down any of the milk that might have got stuck on there over the day. Of course, we're wiping it all the time, so it shouldn't be too dirty, but we want to make sure that's nice and clean, and we shouldn't have to soak that in chemical either. And then the final step would be to just take out your drip tray and give that a thorough clean. And then the second final step would be to actually clean the whole machine. Now, make sure you don't use these cloths. They're dirty, they might be covered in milk. So we want to get some paper towel or something very clean, and some glass cleaner or streak-free spray and wipe, so that we can spray the stainless steel on the machine front and back. Go to the other side of the machine, have a look at what the customer sees, and wipe it down. Make sure you wipe on top of your drip tray, on top of your machine as well, because if you don't, you'll know, because you'll get dirty rings around the outside of your cups, and that's what the customers are putting on their mouth. So follow all of these steps, ideally daily, to maintain your equipment. It will last longer, the coffee will taste better, and you'll be proud of your nice, clean equipment. Is this the process that you do in your cafe? I'd suggest sending this to your staff or fellow baristas as a great guide for you to be able to clean your machine thoroughly inside your cafe. If you add any extra steps or have any other suggestions, we'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.